actual jurors.
I do want to mention one other quick thing. They can't find witness number 3 still. This is apparently an ex-girlfriend of Diddy's who is one of the alleged victims. And prosecution can't find her.
Right, I heard.
Today in a New York federal courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs told the judge he was, quote, a little nervous. The rap mogul's criminal trial began this morning. He is trafficking, racketeering, and more.
Sure. Here's a rewritten, tightened, and professionally polished version of your long-form expose. I've kept the tone investigative and dramatic, but structured it for clarity, pacing, and engagement, as if for a high-impact documentary or deep-dive article. Let's pull back the curtain on one of the entertainment industry's darkest ongoing scandals, Sean Diddy Combs and his now infamous freak-off gatherings. These weren't the glitzy, champagne-drenched parties you see on red carpets or Instagram feeds. They were something far more exclusive and deeply disturbing.
Her attorney is trying to find her, and her attorney has said that she may not be willing to come and testify anyway. So,
behind the gates of sprawling mansions and inside the walls of luxury hotel suites, a far more unsettling narrative is taking shape. Allegations describe events that were carefully orchestrated, where every detail served a hidden purpose, and every guest had a role, willing or not. According to investigators and insiders, Diddy's inner circle managed these events with chilling precision. The venues were staged like productions, custom lighting, pre-arranged accommodations, and shipments of unusual supplies. During federal raids in 2024, agents uncovered over 1,000 bottles of lubricants and oils, alongside reports of 4 fluid deliveries for next-day recovery.
A man, this is probably irreparable.
The attendees weren't anonymous influencers or B-list celebrities. They were A-listers, athletes, and music moguls, all drawn into Diddy's orbit. Among the names repeatedly linked to these events is Will Smith, who has publicly denied any involvement in the more intimate or controversial aspects. "I don't even like baby oil," he joked at a recent event, a bizarre but pointed reference to details cited in the investigation. Despite his denials, resurfaced photos and footage of Smith at parties with Diddy continue to fuel speculation about just how deep the connection goes.
The defense wanted to propose a question on, after the potential jurors filled out their questionnaire, have they seen any news media, any documentaries, anything just relating to a news medium, and whether or not they saw it in between them filling out the questionnaire to Monday morning when they saw, or when they go to jury selection. So essentially meaning...
Perhaps most damning are the testimonies from former staff and guests. Many say they were invited under the guise of networking opportunities, only to find themselves trapped in environments where consent was murky and escape was difficult. Cell phones were allegedly confiscated. Surveillance was tight. One attendee said leaving early would raise flags. Central to the federal investigation is the mysterious disappearance of Victim 3, a woman expected to testify under her real name in what prosecutors called explosive, case-defining testimony. She vanished shortly before the trial. Neither she nor her attorney has been located.
Which, again, the judge kind of made this a point, too, talking about, okay, well, if we're going to continue to do sidebars each and every single time that a prospective juror has to talk about a sensitive topic, that could take up a lot of time. But again, the defense and the government both seem pretty confident that they'll still be able to kind of get it going at a quick pace. This isn't unusual to do in these types of high-profile cases. So that was pretty much just the topics about, Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as...
This isn't the first time Diddy's alleged control tactics have come under scrutiny. Multiple lawsuits and testimonies describe a culture of fear and retaliation. One accuser says she was blacklisted from the industry for refusing advances. Another claims she was warned directly, "You don't cross me. Ever."
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Astaire, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Former collaborators have started distancing themselves, deleting photos, unfollowing him, and refusing to comment. Even artists whose careers he helped build are now keeping their distance.
Pointed out that they will be adding 2 defense attorneys. We only thought initially it was 1, but one thing that stood out to me when Mark Agnifilo was talking about this was he said that these defense attorneys are in the courtroom right now. I didn't see Mark Garagos in that courtroom, but what I did see is 2 defense attorneys that have been there when Brian Steele came on board, and those 2 defense attorneys...
In a shocking development, Jay-Z has been named in a civil suit alleging that he attended a disturbing after-party alongside Diddy decades ago. Jay-Z has denied any wrongdoing and filed motions to dismiss, but his carefully crafted public image is now under scrutiny. Allegations, even unproven, are damaging, and fans are questioning what other secrets remain buried.
The judge didn't go into not really the judge, the government didn't go into too many details about the extent of the plea offer, but one thing that they had said was pretty much that under the plea offer, he would be facing less time than he's facing if he would have gone to trial. So when the allocution portion came, Diddy stood up. The judge kind of read him everything that he had needed to read to him, just about whether or not he was a...
Even Beyoncé has been swept up by association, with online sleuths combing old footage and interviews for clues. No evidence links her directly to any misconduct, but in the court of public opinion, adjacency alone is enough to trigger suspicion.
That came up in the last hearing where the government said we did offer him a deal or an offer, I should say, and that he rejected it. And now it's official, and he said it to the court as well, too. You know, he stood up, he said that he consulted with this about his attorneys, and it seems like they're planning, or not even seems like they are, they're rolling the dice by going to...
And Diddy's empire, once a symbol of black excellence and entrepreneurial success, is now unraveling. Brand deals are being paused or severed, partnerships quietly dissolved. The mogul who once sold out arenas and product lines now faces a crisis of credibility.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men.
This story isn't just about one celebrity. It's about a deeply embedded culture in Hollywood, where fame, wealth, and influence often shield abusers, and where power dynamics have historically silenced victims. Absolutely. Here are additional rewritten excerpts and extensions in the same tone and style as before. These can be used to deepen your exposé, expand into a multi-part series, or create video segments.
I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it, it's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
These weren't just parties, they were productions. According to sources, every element was calculated. Lighting setups, soundproofed rooms, custom linens, and even wardrobe choices were allegedly dictated in advance. Guests were reportedly told what to wear, or what not to wear, and some even had to sign NDAs on site.
Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement. Yeah. He has a family, and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her.
Security staff were briefed beforehand, not just for safety, but to enforce order. If someone wasn't playing by the rules, they were quietly removed, sometimes before they even realized what those rules were. This wasn't a social gathering. This was a controlled ecosystem. One of the most bizarre allegations involves the presence of medical professionals, not for emergencies, but as part of the post-party recovery process. For bags filled with electrolytes were delivered in bulk, and some former staffers claim nurses were on call to administer hydration therapy to guests who had gone too hard. One woman said she was told she couldn't leave without an escort. Another described hiding in a bathroom for hours, unsure how to get out without drawing attention. The psychological pressure was immense. Once you were inside, saying no became nearly impossible. Victim 3's decision to testify under her real name was seen as a moment of immense bravery. Prosecutors had built a significant portion of the case around her account. Then, without warning,